Kipping Up with Wrestling!
And welcome to Kipping Up with Wrestling. This is episode 17, and we're recording here tonight on March 15th, 2018. All links are, and like all of our junk is in the show notes, so let's get the show in the ring tonight. We've got Zach.
How's it going?
And we have Jason.
Hey.
And
Hey.
there you go. And then we have special guest tonight. We have Aaron.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going, sir?
going.
I just
Thanks.
want to thank you for joining us on Rusev Day, taking time out of your holiday.
Happy Rusev.
Happy Rusev Day
you
Eve as well.
Rusev Day,
You could
everybody.
be spending it with your family
With
and
your
loved ones.
Yeah. So greatly appreciated. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So I guess a little bit of intro. Aaron is our buddy, our pal, and he likes wrestling a little. You have wrestled, correct, in the past?
Yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
former professional wrestler. Went by the name Johnny Dynamo on the Michigan independent scene for many, many years. That was my former life. Now I'm just a big fan.
Train under Dan Severn, right?
Yep, Dan the Beast Severn was my trainer, Coldwater, Michigan. Former NWA World Champion, WWE Superstar.
Yeah, I was figuring next time we have you on, we might try to dive in
Like
So-
deep dive
Yeah,
into that.
because
Yeah.
you've got some interesting stories.
Oh yeah, I got some real wacky, wild stories. So yeah,
Yeah.
we can do that. That'd be fun.
We finally get
Conversations.
some cred.
I'm sorry.
Finally get some credentials.
Yeah.
Get a
Mhm.
wrestle
Yeah.
on our
We're
podcast.
actually a wrestling
Some
podcast.
Yeah.
mad cred.
This is gonna get us into the big leagues. We're gonna podcast it all in.
So we're having you on this week. I wanted to have you on and do all that backstory first, but kind of this week, Zach and Aaron both went to Raw because it was in Detroit. So we're probably going to be covering that first, and that'll probably take up quite a bit since live events tend to do
Yeah,
that.
we might actually do a little bit of a shorter show because Shannon and I have a new puppy here that we're trying to get potty trained still and get her outside. So
Yeah, and she really needs to go outside. She doesn't want to. But that's okay. So let's see. The one big news, I guess, before we get into the Raw thing, that happened today. I think that WWE changed the name of the Women's Battle Royal.
yeah, just a couple hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
They ditched the Moolah name.
Yeah.
They got a lot of backlash.
Okay, does
Yeah, I
anyone?
saw on Squared Circle. Do you want to summarize what it is, Shannon?
No,
Yeah.
I wanted one of you guys to I wanted one of you guys to summarize what the issue was,
Right.
and
Why
then
people were upset.
and then maybe the other one summarize the backlash and what happened. How's that?
Okay.
Because
Yeah.
otherwise, I do all the talking.
Yeah, we don't want that. I mean, I can talk about the backlash. So the backlash was pretty severe from what I saw because Fabulous Moolah didn't exactly have the greatest reputation in the business, especially amongst all of the women that trained under her. She had a pretty bad reputation for either abusing the women or exploiting them. And there's really just a lot of, I don't know how much detail we want to go into. There was a lot of terrible stories. I actually read a pretty big Reddit article that someone had put together.
Yes, I saw that too.
Yeah, that same
That's
one.
like a great exhaustive summary.
Oh,
Did you
yeah.
guys just find out about this like right now?
No,
No, about Moolah? No, I had
Yeah.
heard about it maybe a year or two ago.
Like I only heard about 2 months ago.
oh,
And I didn't realize that there was so much backstory
Yeah.
with
so
her.
we're kind of dancing around it. So for the podcast listeners, the fabulous, amazing Moolah or whatever, she was basically a pimp. And she would get the girls hooked on drugs, and she would train them poorly so that she remained on top, and then she would prostitute them out. Right?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are mad because they talk about her as like this revolutionary figure when realistically she set back women's wrestling. Like, for
Yeah, there's
so
a lot
many
of
years.
accusations that she would undertrain people too, to
Mhm.
to not pass her. So the talent wasn't that good. But sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's basically my point.
Yeah,
Okay.
and just other things too. Like she would make these girls sign these crazy contracts that she would get a large percentage of any money that they made, but also like to be able to train there, you had to live in her dorms that she had on her property, and she also charged you for that. So there was one wrestler, and I can't remember her name, but she did an interview where she talked about how basically she worked full time for like 2 years and didn't make any money because it all went to Moolah to pay for all these things that were kind of deep written into this contract, like food and room and board, and then her cut of, her fees and things like that. So just not a good person.
Because even her daughter kind of confirmed a lot of this,
Yeah.
which when I
Yeah,
was
I
researching,
guess I should say all the terrible things I said are accusations.
yeah, I mean, she never was, arrested or anything like that.
No, and then not just that, but I think even all that aside, she's got a bad reputation. I mean, women, like Zach said, set back women's wrestling for years. I mean, for those periods of time when women's wrestling was flourishing, like in Japan and other parts of the world, it was really, 10 steps backwards in the U.S., mostly because Moolah dominated. And then there's also even the stories from like the Hulk Hogan, like the Rock and Wrestling era, like the Wendy Richter story where she got on Wendy Richter and took the championship from her, and just a lot of weird things. And I think I'm actually kind of proud of the wrestling fans for standing up, because WWE's done some weird stuff and really made heroes out of some real unsavory people.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So they had named it after her for historic value, but then
they had packages they were running, recapping and having stars talk about her, which was really weird.
yeah.
Bailey was saying that she grew up watching Moolah.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, how old was Bailey?
She's born in '89.
I mean, so she saw her in the Attitude Era a little bit.
As like an 80-year-old woman.
Yeah. Champion though.
So what was it that the fans did?
So what I saw yesterday, which I think was probably why this happened, was Squared Circle Reddit was kind of organizing to not go complain to WWE, but to complain to Snickers, since they're kind of the WrestleMania sponsor. And I think that's what led the change, because WWE does weird stuff and sometimes seem really stubborn about it.
Yeah.
I think if this was just fans bombarding WWE, social media and all that, it might not have changed.
Yeah, and they put a statement out. I think it was like the parent company that owns Snickers put like a statement out, basically.
Okay, I didn't see that.
I read the statement, and it wasn't just. It was very like PC towards WWE, but basically they put their stance out there that they don't agree with it.
Good. Okay.
That's what led WWE to change it. So I think as of now, it's not being named after anybody in particular. It's just the WrestleMania Women's Battle Royal.
Yeah.
So,
which I think you could totally do you could dedicate it to somebody. It doesn't have to be someone that old. Like you could do Alundra Blaze. You could do Trish Stratus. You could do somebody who was kind of a pioneer.
I think they wanted to do Moolah because she had the belt for like 20 something years.
Yeah, she held the hostage.
No one's ever going to do that again, obviously.
Well, she a WWE like she was Vince Senior's, Vince McMahon's dad's, like she was real tight with him. And the story goes that there's certain people when Vince Jr., current Vince McMahon, took over that he promised his dad he would take care of. And it was like Freddie Blassie and Fabulous Moolah. And there was a handful of people that he made that promise to. So I think Moolah was one of those people that was kind of grandfathered into the WWE, make sure that she always had a spot. And
man, he held his word.
Yeah.
Stephanie put out a tweet too, not long after the statement came out, and it was very interesting worded. It was like, I think it was flat out, "We heard you," and she said something to the effect of, "At the end of the day, the point of this is that it's a historic match, and let's kind of move on." So I mean, they directly acknowledged it then.
That's good then.
I mean, good for them that they changed it, because like you said, Jason, WWE gets really stubborn sometimes.
Yeah.
To be honest, I didn't expect this to change. I figured
I didn't either.
Change it.
It'll be one of those things we all know. Like we all know it's crappy, and it's
like the Warrior Award.
Exactly.
I just can't see honoring someone. Like I understand she's a lot of WWE history, but she doesn't deserve that honor of having that named after her after you find out all the stuff she is accused of doing, and seems like she did. So
yeah, like I said, like when I was kind of researching it and saw the stuff from her daughter. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, there's too much here. It's probably true.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Want to move on to something fun?
That was pleasant.
That was
Yeah.
depressing.
Good way to start the show.
I mean, they
It
changed
actually it's good though because the fans spoke out and it got changed, so that's good.
Yeah.
But I guess you guys went to Raw. I guess
Yeah, I went
Or
to Raw.
something.
or
Yeah, I went to-
something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went to it.
Yeah. How'd that go?
How was the
like,
crowd?
the crowd
Yeah.
was kind of pissing me off, but like the show wasn't as good as I thought it was. What do you think, Aaron? I really didn't.
Agree. I didn't think it was that good.
I'm
I think there
kind
was
of pissed.
one definite highlight that made me
Cena
kind of
promo.
wish I was there. Cena's promo.
Yeah, Cena's promo. We actually went down low for Cena's promo.
Yeah.
I told Shannon, like, watch Zach be like the one he's drinking beer with or something.
Yeah,
Which, by the way,
what's
that
up?
was the best spot. I mean, that was
Mhm.
amazing.
He did good.
That was
That
great. That was a
It was
great
just-
promo. It went from me
Go nuts.
kind of okay about a Taker match to totally want to see this feud.
Cena
It was
did a
amazing.
good job, and I really loved though. Like he had the crowd, everyone's chanting everything he says, and he goes, "Let's go, Roman," and everyone's like, "Nope."
He was trolling.
Yeah.
We had that crowd rolling though. They were so loud. That was the loudest of the whole
Yeah.
night, probably.
That's
crowd was
awesome.
so hot. I mean, they were literally like, you could see the wave. I mean, you probably saw, you see like the waves in the crowd because people are standing up and people are
Mhm.
excited, and yeah, it was crazy. Even though my little critique is, I think creatively they could have found a better way to have him challenge the Undertaker or put that match together rather than him just say, "I'm challenging the Undertaker."
Right.
Yeah, like his
But-
explanation of, I think it's possible, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's so good. Like
He
Cena's
sold it,
so
though.
good
Yeah.
at what
Mhm.
he's doing, and yeah, that was amazing promo, and that was by far the hottest thing on the show. I don't think anything else came close.
I
No.
really faded out after that. I fell
This-
asleep and I read a recap and I didn't go back to watch the rest of it because it seemed very blah.
The Finn versus Seth match was really good.
I saw
thought.
that. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was really good.
Crowd, at that point, I mean, at that point, I was a little bit tired too. It was at an awkward time in the show, I think.
It was. It was like right at the end of the 9 o'clock hour, I think.
Yeah.
The only problem I really had was that like they advertised Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey, and they
Absolutely.
both not there, and then they both went there. I'm thinking then, well, maybe they'll give us Undertaker to make up for that, and then we didn't get that either.
Yeah.
No Triple H, no Stephanie.
And
Like,
especially last week, didn't they make a big deal? Ronda's going to be at every Raw until
Yep, and then-
Mania.
they deleted all those articles off WWE.com.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were on there like
Yeah.
advertising like the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Oh,
all
that's a
took
bunch
them
of
off.
bunk.
Yeah, but I don't know if you saw, I mean, to add to that, they did do that. Then they went back and re-added them, and they had changed them now to like the dates that she's actually going.
Really?
Mm.
Oh, it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. But
Because
not
the
only
thing-
that, but they had advertised a local, like a dark match that was supposed to be like Cena and Roman versus, I don't remember what the match
Mhm.
was, but that didn't happen. We just got Braun, killing people after.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was like for 3 minutes. He put a guy through the table, and then they just like lifted the lights up.
Yeah.
No dark match. That's what
dark-
kind of makes me mad. Is they advertised that dark match, the Ronda appearance, and Brock.
That's a lot.
And then right when
That's-
like they announced Ronda, like that she was gonna be at every Raw, all the ticket prices went up, so they
That's-
got more expensive.
Oh.
And
That's
I
what
know,
bugs me.
Aaron, you've probably seen, I've seen a lot of conversations over the years about their false advertisement and
Oh,
kind
yeah.
of, like,
Yeah,
do people
bad.
have any recourse at all or anything like that?
Well, they gave us Snickers bars on the way out the door.
I didn't
Did
get
they
a
really?
Snickers either.
you
didn't get a Snickers?
No, I didn't get a Snickers.
You got fucked left and right.
I know this was a terrible night.
They probably ran out by the time they got way up to your area.
I
True.
was so mad. I was like, whatever. Because it was weird. You get to this main
You
event.
ate your, like, that makes you be like, eating their chocolate bar.
But you get to the event, which is this the tag team battle royal that Braun
Mhm.
ends up coming in on, and I had to look at my watch and realize this is the main event.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I assumed that we were going to get a Ronda promo or something after that, but then as this is going on, it's almost 11 o'clock, and I'm
You're
like,
like,
this
this
is
is
the
it.
main event. Of,
Yeah, and it went off.
What
the
did you
head, like,
guys think of
11:03.
Braun winning that?
I love it.
Because
and hate it at the
I'm
same
very
time.
torn.
I'm torn. It completely craps on the tag team division. It
Totally.
makes
Yes.
like bums.
And he's gonna win.
He's going to
Yeah.
destroy
Probably.
them.
And I feel bad for Sheamus and Cesaro because
But-
they've had a good run here, and they're going to be just
Meatheads, yeah.
See, I agree with that completely, but I want everybody to get these hands right now.
I like Braun a lot. I just think there's
that's
a better way.
That's what kills me. Like, it's going to be terrible because everybody knows the outcome of the storyline, but to see Braun Strowman just beat everybody's ass
do
for
really
a
like
month and a
Braun.
half.
I love Braun,
yeah.
but the part the part I have trouble with is when WWE is really pushing somebody, they can do no wrong. There's nobody that can stand up to whoever's getting that push at the moment, and like everyone else is garbage when someone else is getting a push, and it's like you have no other talent at this moment. Then and that's I don't like that.
Well, yeah, the entire tag team looks like clowns right now.
Yeah.
Like, who is the legitimate threat after?
And a lot of those guys need all the help they can get, right?
Yeah.
Some of those teams are not being utilized very well anyways. But
like the Good Brothers.
Out there and destroy them. Like, you could have done something with Braun to challenge Sheamus and Cesaro or do whatever without having to have him single-handedly win that battle royal.
Yeah. So then is he the tag team champion?
Like, if he wins, he will be.
Like, that's what I mean. Is he the
And I get, like, that's a, if you're building this guy up as a long-term big monster, that's a unique thing. Like, that he won the tag team belts. And, like, Cole and all of them will be saying that for years to come. Yeah. But I just don't like that it comes at the expense of not just Cesaro and Sheamus, but all the other tag teams. Like, Gallows and Anderson, the Revival, like, really?
Yeah, which are being completely underutilized at this time. So,
So I read on a message board somebody had a really great idea that Braun should win and strap each one of the belts on his hands, and his hands are the tag team champions.
Right? These hands.
Yeah. I love it from a comic standpoint, but
I get the appeal of that, but just the way it's executed.
But it's also like, holy crap, guys.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll hold it for like a day or something. I don't know.
Partner, like, there's rumors that it might be Elias or
I think Braun should stay by himself, though. That's the thing. I feel like he's just so well on his own as being a monster.
I don't know. Him and Alexa Bliss did pretty good during the mixed challenge.
That's pretty cute.
It was cute. I liked I thought it was a little over the top when she like fell on him.
Oh, and they were all like, should we bang? I don't know.
Well, like right here.
The moments plan.
That was ridiculous, but I like when they're like talking smack together and he like lifts her up and stuff, and that's cool.
Yeah.
They're a good team that way.
But all in all, it was kind of not a remarkable Raw.
How did the crowd react to that intro? Because it was a weird ass segment where Roman went back and kind of like broke down the fourth wall.
Mm-hmm. Well, when they said Roman is suspended, the crowd
went crazy.
Yeah, we heard that.
So and then you couldn't hear Vince McMahon that well.
Okay,
either.
That was my next question because I thought I heard "We can't hear you."
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they chanted that.
Yeah,
they did chant that. See, it was weird. Where I was sitting, I could hear him perfectly. That's why I was like caught off guard.
It's probably up in the top where I was sitting under that gondola. I couldn't hear shit.
Yeah,
I was really working out for you that night.
No, that was I had a terrible time on
Aaron
Monday.
and Zach did not sit together at the
event. Different spot. Oh, the other note to talk about though was during the battle royal, like especially the commercial break, right? Like Rhino got huge reaction.
Yeah, everybody was going crazy for him.
Oh, it was awesome. Yeah, they were going crazy for him. And he was really hamming it up too. Like he was getting everybody
running around the ring, just looking at everybody. That was cool.
Yeah. And I think he got a chant when the cameras were on too, but I know the biggest one was during the commercial break. So pretty local boy.
Yeah. We like Rhino here.
Yeah.
We like Rhino, and Big Show's huge here. Like people love the Big Show around here.
Yeah, it's awesome.
The crowd did kind of make me mad a few times. Did you hear? I think it was during the Asuka Mickey James match. Could you hear it on TV, the CM Punk chants and the Rusev Day chants?
Yeah, it did sound like part of the crowd was trying to shut them up.
Yeah, like right away people started booing.
Yeah,
Arena. Like it was annoying. Yeah, because they were having a fine match. Like
Bums me out that my crowd would do that. I'm part of that.
Yeah.
It really makes you look around and
you're in that community.
Yeah, there were some weird. Like we were up in the top. Oh, I'm losing myself right here. We were up in the top, and this like guy was just yelling like the entire time. These little kids, like two little kids, were chanting, "Let's go Roman!" And this guy was yelling, "Shut the fuck up!" back.
Oh, God.
Like in unison, like "Let's go Roman! Shut the fuck up!" It was really weird.
Oh,
that's a grown man.
Terrible to yell at. I understand if the whole crowd's doing it, you're not just yelling at two specific children. Maybe.
It was like 2 kids trying to get it going. It was really weird. I didn't like it.
That's really mean.
Yeah, crowd was making me mad.
There's wrestling fans are a strange breed. I mean, I know we're part of that, but it's I always forget until I go to a live show, and I'm like, oh man.
That was we were just talking about.
These are my people.
The more and more people that get added to the Jericho cruise, we're like, oh, that would be cool to go on. But what makes me super not want to go is being around all the fans.
Yeah.
But you're gonna find like.
Oh, there's gonna be some awesome ones.
Okay, when we went to Star Wars Celebration, though, like you're surrounded by people who love everything the same that you love. So wouldn't it be like that? Or,
I would hope so.
Yeah, you're scared. Look at Aaron.
You add an alcohol.
It's a little bit different. Like wrestling, just people are. I don't know. Some fans are just real hardcore one way or the other, and it's a much more diverse fan base.
Yeah.
I think,
Yeah.
Divided.
Totally. Yeah.
Everybody's real dead set on their opinions on certain wrestlers.
And and if you believe anything else, you're dumb.
Exactly.
Mhm.
See, like, I don't know. I actually was asking Jason this during Raw. I'm like, how do you think Roman would be as a wrestler if he didn't work for WWE? Like, if he worked for Ring of Honor or something, would he be a better showman? Or is this my question is this how Roman wrestles, or is this how Roman is told to wrestle? Does he have better showmanship than what we see? Because Seth was held back for a while, or he is from time to time, it seems like.
That's a good question.
That's a great question. I think the hard part, Roman doesn't have a lot of it. Roman started in that system, so you don't really have anything to compare it to. So,
yeah.
So, and I'm not saying this to be on the anti-Roman bandwagon, but I really don't get it. I don't get the Roman Reigns fascination. Like, a lot of people were anti-Cena when he was getting his monster push, and I love Cena. Like, I loved him for all the time. He's a great performer. He's very charismatic.
But
like
he came from Ohio. You have proof of like what he could do prior to getting into the WWE system. Same with like Seth and some of almost everyone else. There's not really a lot of the really big superstars that start off WWE completely, really. Is there?
Braun, Miz.
Yeah,
I
guess.
That's about it that I can think of.
I don't know. Brock Lesnar did. There's guys. Cena, Randy Orton, but
yeah, but I don't get, like, I try to at times say, am I just not liking Roman because everyone online does? And I really don't think so. Like, his matches he has a limited move set. He doesn't sell particularly well. He's character I don't like on the mic.
He's gotten better.
His promos have been decent, but
it bumps me out a little bit that they're breaking the fourth wall and doing him going to Vince and trying and calling out Brock. I feel like they're pulling out all the stops, and this is content that could be really cool, but it should be on a better wrestler who could benefit more from it.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you're wasting this chance to break down the fourth wall.
They've done this so many times with him, given him everything he needs to get over, and for some reason people
it's
there.
Brock. It's him calling out Brock for what the fans really think.
Yeah.
But again, then Zach said it. Vince said, "Okay, you're suspended," and the crowd erupted. I really think Vince keeps thinking, "No, that will do it. That will do it."
They might get booed out of the building at WrestleMania because if they get everybody to hate Brock so much, they're going to hate Brock, and everybody's still going to hate Roman.
Well, that's why the rumor is that match won't go on last.
If it goes after AJ versus Shinsuke, they're gonna never be able to live up to anything like that.
I agree. There's a chance. I still don't think that Brock's gonna get booed, though. I think when you get that WrestleMania crowd in there, all the people traveling and everything, it's gonna be like it was 3 years ago when they wrestled. Like, Brock's gonna be the monster babyface to the crowd, and Roman's gonna get booed out of the place.
Yeah.
Once he hits that first German suplex, everybody just start going crazy.
Yeah, everyone's gonna start.
But it's a bummer that 3 years of build up. Roman will kick out of the F5, and I don't know.
It's terrible. Yeah,
it'll be the same match we had last time they went.
Yeah.
Not,
And I thought about
Seth won't cash in.
I thought about this the other day too, and I could be wrong. This is just my theory, but I think they're going so hard with everything that they're not going to let Paul Heyman come out with him. I almost guarantee it, because
Really?
Paul's such a baby face to that crowd, and they love doing like the, ladies and gentlemen, the whole thing that Paul does. I don't think they'll let Paul do his
That's
intro.
interesting.
Yeah, I never thought of that.
They're going to want him to be booed as much as they can, and they're not going to let him do the stuff that gets.
Isn't there a problem when you're trying to force the crowd to react a certain way?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy.
I don't know, but I look at Roman and I just see, like, you look at every performer that was like this face of that company going back forever, Hulk Hogan and Steve Austin and The Rock and John Cena, and it's like Roman Reigns doesn't even belong in that same,
No, I think
not
so.
at all.
he can't perform nearly at the level that any of those guys could.
No, I mean, right now you have someone on the roster who is AJ.
Absolutely.
Like SmackDown, when he came out, he's so fucking over. Like that crowd, it was insane. He hadn't even said a word yet. He was just standing in the ring.
He needs to be on Raw here soon.
Yeah.
It's about time for him to move to Raw and be the number one star there.
Yeah, like he is the guy right now. I know he's older and he's not going to be around forever, but the next 2 years, like he should be the guy main eventing WrestleMania.
Who are we
It's
talking
funny-
about? Sorry.
AJ.
Oh yeah.
How old is AJ? Does you guys
40.
40.
Shawn
Yeah.
Michaels was doing it at WrestleMania till 45. Like,
Yeah.
an amazing
I think-
match. So
I think he's got at least a couple more years.
Well,
Mhm.
when they really ruined the chance for Seth Rollins to be that guy when he came back from his knee injury,
Oh yeah.
And they made him a
the
heel.
crowd wanted him to be a babyface. They did that the WWE 24 thing on the network.
Yeah.
Where
Mhm.
he's just this sympathetic babyface, and then they turned him heel, like
Yeah.
they made him heel right away. And
Mid interview or promo, yeah.
killed the chance. He could have been the babyface superstar, I think.
Yep.
Because he was great as a heel before he got hurt.
Oh,
Like he was on a tear.
Yeah.
Well,
Like,
that's why I think they wanted to like him so much when he came back.
Mhm,
Yeah,
exactly.
but
'Cause you didn't realize how much you missed him until he was gone.
They did that
Mhm.
special, and then Triple H had turned on him too, which gave him a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah.
compassion. But then he also did like an interview with Renee where he just came off as a sweetheart, like he didn't do it in character, and so like
Yeah.
it was like, oh my gosh, everyone wants this, and you could totally have what you want, but it's with Seth, it's not with Roman. Sorry.
I mean, they totally could have done that after he did that gauntlet match a couple weeks ago. Like he looked so good and was getting cheered. They could have switched up. They could have had him win at Elimination Chamber.
They've had baby faces like a couple. I mean, Dean Ambrose a couple years ago was so hot as a
Yeah.
baby.
And they had him that match with Brock at Mania that sucked.
And they beat him, and then it just things got weird with him. But for a couple years there, he could have been the guy.
Yeah,
too.
when he had that little feud with Triple H before WrestleMania, like he was so over.
Mhm.
I don't know. And then if we're talking, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, but you got to get Roman over. So
Yeah,
They're trying everything.
pulling out all the stops.
yeah.
So we talked a little bit about SmackDown. What do you guys think of SmackDown?
SmackDown, the attack on Shane was pretty well done, I thought.
Yeah.
I like the whole dynamic of it. How Sammy and Kevin maybe were just playing everybody so that they're now friends again. I don't know.
Yeah, or that was the one thing that they're still friends over.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
totally, Shane. To me, Shane, and I've said it on past shows. Shane's been the heel in this whole thing, and totally
Yeah.
deserved that.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'll
Like,
tell you
I
what, it
agree.
was brutal though. The last bump that he took backstage there, I think it was like a power bomb.
Yeah.
Like a ladder or whatever it was laying on top of that box. It was pretty brutal.
He was he was breathing really weird. I'm like, I wonder if that's a show.
Yeah.
Been knocked out of him, I would think. It was a pretty rough bump. So
Yeah.
Well, he deserved it.
Yeah, he did.
now what's the match
That's
going to be?
brutal.
They
I don't-
said it. Sammy
I don't-
versus Kevin.
But I don't think that's going to. I mean, Shane's got to be involved.
I would hope so.
Yeah. But I don't know where it though. But
Yeah.
There's so many options. I really don't know what it could be. It could be a handicap match. It could be he could get a tag team partner to be with him.
yeah.
I mean, there's so many other options they could do.
Yeah.
Yeah, be interesting to see. But I think the more and more that we get closer to Mania, talking about SmackDown, I think that Shinsuke's got a chance at winning the title. I really do, especially if they want to move AJ to Raw.
Raw.
Because Zach, you're not the first person that I've heard that from. A lot of people think
Mhm.
that, and I mean, I don't know if they're actually thinking about doing it, but I know a lot of fans think that would be the way to go because AJ's beating everybody on SmackDown.
Mhm.
Right.
What else is he going to do?
Yeah.
If he's, so I thought the idea of Shinsuke and AJ was just, let's have the 5-star classic that they had in New Japan. But
Mhm.
now that we're getting closer, I'm thinking that Nakamura's actually got a chance at winning. I didn't think he did in the beginning.
I would still bet no, but that would be very
Yeah.
interesting.
That would be
Me
kind
too.
of cool because then Shinsuke beat him again.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah. Well, because what started making me think about it is he's been off TV a lot. Like he spent a few weeks just not on SmackDown at all. Shinsuke did
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
after winning the Rumble.
after winning the Rumble. And
Mhm.
for me, I was thinking, you look at the way WWE books things. I was like, well, they if they put him on SmackDown, he's gotta win. They're not gonna put him on there, so they want to save some of these matchups. You know, they don't want to put him against Ziggler and Owens and Zayn and all these guys because maybe they want to save those matchups for when he wins the
Mhm.
title. I know that's just me speculating, but
You have him on your fantasy team, right?
well, yeah. Plus, I'm trying to make
Yeah.
So you're probably pretty
Points.
pumped that he has
trying to
wrestled.
talk myself into thinking he's winning the title. He's on my fantasy team. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very excited about Asuka being on Raw and SmackDown lately since I have. her
oh
on
my
fantasy.
gosh, I bet.
Yeah, so that's nice doing double duty this week. So
I'm glad they went that route because
Yeah, me too.
that's the WrestleMania match people want to see in the women's
That
division.
should-
Yes.
that's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be fun. It's gonna be a fun match. Yeah.
There's so many matches at WrestleMania already this year. There's like 14 that are
Yeah.
announced.
Do you think Charlotte will beat her?
No, I think Asuka's winning.
I think
Yeah.
Asuka's.
They're gonna ride that a little bit longer. As Shannon and I said, like that's cool, but at some point, I feel like the undefeated thing becomes like it hurts you more than it helps you at a certain point, storytelling wise,
Right.
because it
limits some things.
yeah,
but
like at the last pay per view when she fought Nia, there's no way Nia's gonna beat her, like no way.
I
Yeah.
don't know. The one thing I didn't. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I still think they might be building up Asuka and Ronda Rousey. You know,
Yeah.
with the mission
That'd be
gimmicks
awesome.
and everything. So I don't know if it's at SummerSlam this year or if they're gonna try to ride it till Mania next year.
See,
but
I think they would prefer Ronda and Charlotte because I think they would see that as a bigger match.
I think
I
they'll
think we're gonna get that.
have
too,
that.
but I think
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah.
the undefeated streak versus Ronda. I don't know. That's me. We'll
That would be
see.
cool. Like
The person
either
who
of
beat
one of those.
Asuka, it has to be a huge match at this point.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
They
not
go
just gonna.
undefeated streak versus undefeated streak.
Yeah.
So
I mean, not to be rude to any of the other talent or anything, but they're not gonna have her just like fall over like in a off a weird.
Well, that's why I knew
botch
they're
or
not
a
going to
glitch
beat.
or
They're not going to have Nia. They're not going to have Nia beat her at the pay per view right before WrestleMania.
something.
right.
Of course not.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Elimination Chamber was like, and Fastlane to a degree too. Besides Randy Orton winning, we've had like very predictable pay per views. Everything leading up to Mania, like after the Rumble, is basically nothing.
Yeah.
It's all just until the next 4 weeks, the road WrestleMania. Everything doesn't really matter to a point.
Mm-mm.
Agreed. Yeah. I mean, those pay-per-views, even back in the day when there was just the one pay-per-view in between Rumble and WrestleMania, like it was always just a filler show because
Mhm.
you know what you're doing after the Rumble. You can see they've either announced it or you can clearly see where they're going. So yeah,
Yeah.
filler. But yeah, we did get Randy Orton winning the U.S. title.
Mhm. Yeah, that was a shock.
Yeah. Interesting.
The one thing I didn't like about the Asuka stuff is they're holding her streak and like mentioning like how she almost lost her winning streak during those
Mixed match challenge.
mixed match challenge events. And it's like that wouldn't count. If Miz gets pinned and she loses, like she doesn't really. I wouldn't count that as being defeated. I don't know. I think it's
Well,
weird.
And that's where it would be like when they started pushing that. I'm like, oh, that's going to be a part of the storyline. Then
Then
there's,
she's gonna win.
she's winning.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to have her lose the win streak on a Facebook Live thing.
Not at all. Yeah. Yeah, they gave that finish away. I think as soon as they started making it a part of the storyline, then obviously her and Miz are winning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Either that or they're gonna drag it out till after WrestleMania. if she loses the WrestleMania. But
yeah,
but anyway. Let's see. Do you guys want to talk about some 205 Live real quick?
yeah, my boy Roderick Strong. You talking about Asuka pulling double duty? Roderick Strong's been pulling a lot of double.
Did you pick him up in fantasy?
What's that?
Did you pick him up in fantasy?
I picked him up. So
Did you? Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, because he's been on 205 Live and NXT.
Yeah, he was on NXT this week too.
Mhm.
Yeah. No, but it's 205 Live. So supposedly, from what I hear, what I read on the internet, that Triple H took over the booking of 205 Live a few weeks ago, pretty much coinciding with Drake Maverick and the whole cruiserweight title tournament, which it's been awesome. I know we've talked a little bit, chatted about it and stuff, but these matches have been great. Like I've been really enjoying the show. It's just a solid hour of good wrestling, and
tournaments always make storytelling so much easier and more engaging, I think.
Yeah. I think the only thing that sucks that they need to stop recording it after SmackDown.
Yes.
The crowd is dead.
They need to move it. Like there's no reason why they can't do it at 7:00.
Yep.
I mean, most people that are watching on the network are not going to watch it live. They're just it doesn't matter. You can watch the replays, but air it live at 7, right? Before SmackDown goes there. Crowd would be really hot.
I totally agree. That would help that show so much.
So this week, we're talking about this week's, right? Spoilers, it's already happened, right? Yeah. Days. So Cedric Alexander beat Roderick Strong. I was a little bit not only bummed because he's on my fantasy team, but I actually thought because they put Roddy in there that he was going to go all the way. But then when I saw he matched up with Cedric, I figured Cedric's probably the golden boy.
I thought Roderick Strong was going to win. Yeah, I thought they were pushing him to
no, I still think I've felt Cedric's next in line to be champ.
I love him. I love Cedric Alexander.
Was it a good match? I didn't watch 205 Live this week.
It was good.
Yeah, really? I didn't watch the match either. I read the.
Yeah, it was very good.
Yeah. So is Mustafa Ali wrestling next week then?
Yes.
Who is he wrestling?
Drew Gulak.
Drew Gulak. That'll be a good match too, probably.
I
think Mustafa Ali.
Yeah, I kind of figured Gulak's going to win only because he's the heel in this whole thing.
That's what I think too.
Yeah.
Got to have a strong heel go against Cedric at Mania because there'll be a lot of people at Mania that don't watch 205 Live. So I think you want a strong heel, strong babyface, match
up with some massive talent. So
and a lot of people know who Gulak is as well because he was like a main feature of Raw, being with Enzo for like the last 6 months.
Absolutely,
so that probably helps just like as the face value, and they know who he is.
Yeah. He's so great. Going back to his like just shooter, mean, tough guy gimmick. He's so awesome.
Yeah, I missed a little bit of the comedy, but yeah, he's good at that too.
Comedy's good. I figured it was going to come down between the Cedric Roderick Strong winner. I thought was going to win the whole thing, and now that it's Cedric, I still stick with that.
I do
Cedric.
too. Yeah. I feel the same.
Yeah.
We want to go on to NXT.
Some NXT. I like the Pete Dunne and Adam Cole. I love Adam Cole, baby.
That was a great match, I thought.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that, I'm like, wow, this could be like a takeover match.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne is like he's one of my favorite wrestlers. Like
me too.
World right now. Like I think he's like the unsung hero in WWE. Like he's their little secret. Like
and wherever if they put him on Raw or whatever, people know who he is. Even given the percentage that you think actually watch like NXT or even watch the UK tournament. Like I was amazed how over he was on Raw and stuff.
Yeah.
I just love the way because he's one of those British wrestlers that works all the limbs. Yeah. I love all that little stuff like bending the fingers back. I was watching with one of my friends that doesn't watch wrestling that much, only Raw. And he was watching it like, oh my god, that's terrible to stop it on the back.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
his character is great and his style fits that character so well.
He's got an awesome look too, like hair and like he's got the mouth guard. And
he looks like a mean guy.
I think it was Adam Cole who put Pete Dunne in. He had like that. I can't think of the word, like brain buster. He picked him up like a suplex, slammed him straight on his knee. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
But it was a great move.
Brutal. Yeah.
Yeah. Pete Dunne's he's one of my favorites. I think it just that match with Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate last year when Pete Dunne won the UK title. It's still
takeover Chicago, I think. Yeah.
It's still. I just love that match. It's so easy to watch. The crowd was so hot, but yeah, Pete Dunne's great. So for Takeover, are we talking about Takeover? Because I think it's a little bit spoilerish.
No, yeah, we can. So NXT's been taped up until Takeover, so
so we got Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne are a tag team. Again, is it Authors of Pain, right? Authors of Pain and Undisputed for the titles. So, I mean, I don't know if Roddy and Pete Dunne have a chance, but that would be quite the team.
You can see the writing on the wall, like in this week's NXT, of how that's happening, and I like the randomness of the team up.
Yeah, and they'll probably produce a great match.
Yeah, I'd love to see it because, I mean, Pete Dunne having the UK title is awesome, but until they get a UK show, like the UK Championship,
Yeah, what does it mean?
what does it mean? I mean, he's having awesome matches, so I mean, it's cool. Like it's kind of becoming like the old school, like how the Intercontinental title used to be.
I totally feel that way.
Workhorse title.
Yeah,
Like you see really good matches with really good guys. It's the UK Championship matches. They haven't had any bad UK title matches yet, but I think getting Pete Dunne in that NXT mix is cool because kind of gets him involved a little bit more. He's a little bit of just an outsider. He's got that UK title and just kind of floating around, but if he actually, him and Roddy were to win those belts, that would be kind of neat.
Yeah, when he's on right now, it feels special. Yeah, because he's, like you said, he's an outsider.
Agreed. Yeah, it's fun. NXT's fun.
It's really good. Like I was saying earlier that this feels like when the roster's hot again. Like when it was when Bailey and Sasha and Charlotte and Becky and
Sami Zayn and
Sammy and Neville were all down there. It feels like that again.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
they have massive talent down there.
They have a special, yeah.
The NXT takeover at WrestleMania is going to be really, really good.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for that pay-per-view.
Yeah, the ladder match, and they're introducing a new title.
Yep, the North American title, I think it is.
And Ricochet will be in that.
Yeah, so will Ethan Carter, I heard.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of upcoming shows, the location for All In has been announced for Ring of Honor. See what I did there? That's pretty good.
Yep,
I'm not
nice.
supposed to mention the segue, but I couldn't help it.
That's good.
Oh, it will be in Chicago. Who's going?
Chi-Town.
I think we're all trying to go.
We're
All
trying.
going? I know they had like an official hotel.
Yeah, it's sold
already out. It's sold out. Like I tried doing it. Sold
I'm
out
not
in
super
minutes.
worried because we can just stay at a hotel nearby.
Right, and we can just go there and
Well,
hang out.
already, yeah, I should have booked because I went on the day that they announced it, and I could have got a room, and I don't know why I didn't pull the trigger on doing
Yeah,
it.
too. I looked
you
at
big
it, I'm like-
dummy.
Yeah.
Cody tweeted they have a couple like other hotel partners that aren't as close, but I'm gonna look into those.
I just love following them all on Twitter and like seeing them all do this, like and through being the elite and like Cody tweeting and stuff, how they're all building this thing to come together.
Yeah, it's
really,
the
really
culmination of it all. Yeah, it's really cool.
So I just saw the other day because it seems like there's always new info coming out on this, but it looks like there's going to be. I was one of the Bucks or somebody was responding. I've been looking at everybody's tweet replies so I can kind of see what they're saying to everybody that's asking questions. But one of the Bucks said that there's going to be conventions and stuff from starting on Thursday. So
Oh shit!
like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and the show's on Saturday, but Thursday and Friday there'll be stuff going on. Whether
So it's kind of like turning into a WrestleMania weekend type thing.
That's awesome.
Wow.
yeah,
That's
so
pretty cool.
That's cool.
But I'm all in.
I'm
Yeah,
all
I'm
in
all
too.
in.
I feel like with it being this close to us, kind of have to go.
Yeah, if it was in California, I wouldn't go, but
I don't think we're going to be taking the kid because I'm just a little worried about the crowd.
I have to wait and see because the date, like I don't know if it's like my son's first day of school or something, so I have to kind of check on things like that.
it's Labor Day. Is that Monday?
It's on Labor Day.
Yeah,
No,
Labor
it's
Day
on the
weekend.
Saturday before Labor Day, so he'll be in school the next week.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah, I don't know if we're going to go for one night or not, but I think we'll definitely be going.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do a weekend. I want to go down there maybe Friday.
Mm-hmm. That would be cool.
See what they do on all those days. Like, I mean, I'd like to do the whole thing, but if Thursday night's just, I don't know,
Like a
if Thursday
signing.
night meet and greet
Yeah.
that I can do on Friday or Saturday, then I won't do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But obviously, Pro Wrestling Tees is heavily involved, and it sounds like they might be doing some of their own meet and greet type stuff at their store, which is kind of cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's awesome. So
The Ring of Honor card is looking good too for that
For
super
Supercard?
card.
yeah, they announced, I believe today, or it might have been the last couple of days, Hangman versus Ibushi. I think I saw.
Yeah, Coda. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
There's so much. There's gonna be a wrestling orgy in the next month.
Speaking
Nice.
of Hangman Page invaded bar wrestling to confront Joey
That was
Ryan,
so cool.
and
Fantastic.
he got beat up by his penis,
Yeah.
and then he drank his pee.
Yep.
I love
Oh,
it.
you know, wrestling.
And for people who are like, "What?" Like, yeah,
No, yeah,
yeah.
that's the correct reaction.
We can really do it justice. I think we just need to recommend everybody go watch Being the Elite.
Yes, from episode
You need to go
1.
back and watch some to get the full context of why this happened.
Yes, it's a whole conspiracy theory thing that
Hangman gets down on one knee and says, "You are nothing." And just yelling at
Joey Ryan's,
Joey
penis.
Ryan's penis.
Yeah.
And then Joey Ryan's penis grabbed him, almost like a Superman 2 moment.
I love though that Cody was miking.
Yeah, just
Joey
you saw
Ryan's
him,
penis.
and every once in a while he'd be in frame.
Yeah, trying to get the
Favorite part.
penis on Mike.
And that crowd reaction, I so wanted to be there.
Would you
Yeah,
have a
how
heart
cool
attack?
that'd be.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
And you could
yeah.
tell it was a complete shock to them.
That was cool.
I saw
Little-
pictures of it
yeah.
before, being the elite and everything, and just seeing Cody doing the mic work.
It's
It makes me
Genius.
so happy. Is he's like looks like the biggest heel in wrestling, but he's just so great, having
Yeah.
the best time.
His nuance and his bad guy right now is fantastic.
He might be my favorite bad guy right now.
Yeah.
So I got to say this because I went to Ring of Honor in Manhattan
Yeah.
a few weeks ago, Manhattan Mayhem, and Cody was the most entertaining wrestler I think I've maybe ever seen in person at that
Wow.
show. Like he wrestled Flip Gordon, and it was just so amazing. We went, Mike, our friend Mike was with me, and it was just, even he said it was just so entertaining. He's such an old school classic
Yeah.
heel, stalling and just doing ridiculous stuff. And the best spot of the whole match was, he takes gives Flip a little bump, and then he goes and stalls, and then he goes outside, kisses Brandy, and then kisses the bear.
Yeah.
And
And then when Flip tried to go up to the bear, how upset he got.
yeah.
So good.
It was so.
And then it made like all that stuff with the bear and it being awkward and the Bucks kind of like not wanting to tell him it's bad, culminating with Kenny revealing himself at that pay-per-view. Like I knew that was coming, but it was so fucking
Jason
good.
called it. Like I'm like, how do you?
Like he's
call
in that
it?
bear.
Yeah.
but
But
Cody,
it was so good.
one of my favorite things going on right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
He's amazing.
100%.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right.
Some good wrestling.
This is good wrestling talk. I think I
That
might
was.
want to wrap it up for today. If you guys are cool with that.
Yep.
Yep.
All right.
Cool.
then-
And like I said, we'll have Aaron back again, and we'll bug him about his wrestling history.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'd be awesome.
Mhm.
Yeah. Fun.
I mean,
Thanks for joining us, Aaron.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Fun.
okay, that's our show for this week. Thanks again for listening to Kipping Up with Wrestling. Check us out at our website and all of the links that are in our show notes, and that'll be groovy. You can keep up with us on our Discord channel too, and there's an invite to that on our website at kippingupwithwrestling.com. You can also email us with corrections, feedback, and interview opportunities at contact@kippingupwithwrestling.com.
Thank you for listening to Kipping Up with Wrestling. Make sure to subscribe and follow us